Adrian Navarro had everything: power, wealth, freedom. But when he saw her again, standing in the street with 3 little boys who looked exactly like him, the past he tried to bury came storming back. He thought he left her behind, but what she was hiding would change everything. Adrian Navarro wasn't just rich. He was legendary. Miami real estate mogul, the type whose name echoed in waterfront boardrooms and high-rise negotiations. On paper, his life was perfect. Lavish penthouse in Brickell, a rotating schedule of upscale galas, and a phone that never stopped buzzing with million-dollar deals. But one muggy Tuesday afternoon, after yet another exhausting meeting with foreign investors trying to buy up half of Coconut Grove, Adrian got into his bulletproof Escalade, barely glanced at the skyline, and gave the usual command to his driver: just drive. He was tired, not physically, but the kind of mental fatigue that only success can bring. As the SUV inched through traffic, Adrian scrolled through messages on his phone. A notification pinged, then another. His mind was elsewhere, until the car stopped at a red light on Biscayne. He glanced up, and the world stopped moving. She was standing just outside a Walgreens, holding a frayed plastic shopping bag, worn jeans, tired sneakers, and a gray hoodie that had seen better days. Her back was turned at first, but then she turned slightly to manage the shopping bag, and that's when he saw her face. Camila Reyes. Adrian's breath caught in his throat. It had been 5 years. 5 years since he left her. No note, no call, no closure. Just one morning, he packed a suitcase and disappeared from her life. And now, as if plucked from a memory, she was here. But that wasn't what rattled him. What rattled him were the 3 little boys standing beside her. Triplets, no older than 5. Same black curls, same eyes, same tilted eyebrows when they squinted against the Miami sun. Adrian leaned forward. One of the boys looked up and stared directly at him. It was like looking into a mirror. Before he could react, a silver Toyota Camry pulled up to the curb. Camila quickly ushered the boys into the back seat. She moved with familiarity, a practiced rhythm that only a mother could have. She never looked toward Adrian's SUV, and just like that, they were gone. "Stop the car," Adrian shouted. The driver braked hard, startled. Adrian jumped out, eyes scanning the road, but it was too late. The car had vanished. He stood there, frozen, watching the spot where she had just been. Inside him, something cracked, something he had buried under layers of ambition and arrogance. He got back into the SUV without a word. The driver didn't dare ask, but Adrian couldn't sit still. His knee bounced. His mind raced. Were they his? He had to know. Adrian spent the entire ride back to his penthouse in complete silence. His mind, however, was screaming. He walked into his apartment, poured himself a drink, and opened his laptop. A quick search of her name, then a deeper one, then social media. Nothing. Camila Reyes had vanished. But he knew she was real. Those boys were real. And one look into their eyes had undone 5 years of compartmentalized guilt. Back then, she had loved him when he had nothing. She was there during the ramen for dinner nights. She helped build him, believed in him. But when his company took off, when the calls started coming from Manhattan and Dubai, Adrian convinced himself he needed to focus. So he walked away. He told himself he'd come back when things were stable, but he never did. Now, the silence around her presence felt more haunting than her memory ever had. He called Alana, his long-trusted assistant. "I need you to find someone." Camila Reyes. Last known address was in Wynwood. She has 3 sons, maybe 5 years old. Alana didn't ask why. She only replied, "Give me 24 hours. Adrian didn't sleep that night. He couldn't. He wandered the apartment like a ghost. Every sound from the city below felt muffled, irrelevant. He pulled out an old external hard drive, the kind he hadn't touched in years. Deep inside, there were photos of him, of Camila, of weekends in Coconut Grove, of burnt pancakes and old bookstores. He stopped at one image, Camila kissing him on the cheek, her arms wrapped around his chest. He wasn't even smiling in the photo, but she was. The next day, just after noon, his phone rang. "Mr. Navarro," Alana said. "I found her." Camila was working at a low-income health clinic in Little Havana, living in a 2-bedroom apartment above a Cuban bakery. No recent social media, no public activity. Adrian swallowed hard. She married? No. And according to the records, the boys were born 6 months after you left. He couldn't breathe. Alana paused, then added, "Do you want to see them?" He didn't hesitate. Yes. What he didn't know was that the meeting would not go as planned, and that the truth Camila had been holding onto all these years would hit harder than anything he imagined. Adrian arrived outside the clinic early. He didn't know what he would say. What could he say? When Camila exited just past 5 p.m., the world slowed. She looked older, yes, but stronger too. She carried herself like someone who had no time for fantasy. She didn't see him until he stepped onto the sidewalk. Their eyes locked. Camila froze. She didn't look surprised. She looked prepared. "Adrian," she said. Not a question, just acknowledgement. "Hi," he replied, his voice cracking. The boys were at her side, playful, loud. One of them clung to her hand, the other two giggling about something he couldn't hear. I saw you yesterday. I didn't know. That I exist? That they exist?" She cut in. Adrian looked at the boys, then back at her. "Are they mine?" Camila knelt to tie one of the boys' shoes, then stood and looked him dead in the eyes. "Yes, they're yours. Biologically, but not emotionally, not legally, not in any of the ways that matter." His stomach sank. "I didn't know. You didn't care to know." Adrian stood silently, taking the blow. She continued, "You left, not just me. You left this future. These boys don't even know your name, and they don't need to, because I've been enough. And if you're here thinking you can just walk back into their lives with your suits and apologies, don't." She turned to go. "Wait," he said. "Please, I want to try. I want to make it right." Camila hesitated. The boys were already pulling at her hands. She looked back once, then said, "Then don't show up with words. Show up with actions. Show up with time. They're not a debt you can pay. They're a lifetime you missed." And with that, she walked away. Adrian didn't chase her. For once, he didn't run. He watched them disappear around the corner, 3 little shadows trailing behind her. One of the boys turned, looked back, and smiled. That smile undid him, not because it was his, but because it still could be. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more emotionally powerful stories that will restore your faith in humanity.